Hey everybody, today I have a Trident Blade 3D to check out. This is an absolute monster of 3D acceleration. It's a generic little card on AGP. It has 8 megabytes of RAM. I swapped motherboards from the KX133 system because it was running at AGP 1X on there, and I wanted to see if switching to a more modern motherboard that still had AGP 3.3 volt support would have it run at AGP 2X, but it is still running at AGP 1X on this board. This is a ECS K7VTA3, which is a KT333 board with universal AGP. So I don't know, maybe this card is just 1X, but I looked around online a little bit, and somebody else had complained that it was running at 1x. So who knows? Whatever. But let's take a look at the control panel and some driver quirks that I came across. First of all, here it is: Device Manager, Trident Blade 3D, PCI, AGP, ICD. This ICD part is an interesting little quirk that I want to show you. When you install the drivers through here, if you install it this way, it will automatically choose the a driver without OpenGL support, because strangely enough, they offer two options when you install the driver. Oops. When you install the driver, you can pick ICD or no ICD. So yeah, if you want to have OpenGL support, you have to go through this manually and pick the ICD option, because it picks the non-ICD option by default. And then you have no OpenGL support. You don't know why, and you wonder if the card ever had OpenGL support, unless you go dig around in the INF files and see that there is a OpenGL driver that it will install, but only if you pick this ICD choice. So that's interesting. This driver is from year 2000. The README says it's for Windows NT, but it isn't. It's for Windows 9X. 6.50, 5452, 95 ICD. It doesn't mention the OpenGL option in here anywhere. And the control panel it installs is very limited. You just have some desktop color adjustment and video adjustment for playing videos on your computer. So yeah, there's no game settings anywhere. It's the Blade 3D, is sometimes referred to as a 3D Image 9880. The 3D Image was their previous 3D accelerator line, and those were pretty broken. Broken similar to a Cirrus Logic Laguna, or I don't know. A Verge actually renders right, so Verge you can't really say is terrible like those. I mean, the previous 3D image chips did not render properly. The texture filtering didn't work right, or it was just like a low precision thing that was all glitchy, and it lacked a lot of capabilities, so games didn't work right on it, and a lot of missing effects. The Blade 3D is fully featured. It really renders nicely, as you'll see in the games and 3D Mark. I mean, it even supports an anisotropic filtering, which is and the texture filtering is very clean on this card. It's quite surprising, actually. It's running at AGP 1X, 100 megahertz, so it's not very exciting on the clock speed, and it's only a 1 pixel, 1 texel per clock chip, so 100 megapixels, 100 megatexels, which is like, I guess it's kind of like a Banshee then. Maybe it's similar in performance, but it has very little memory bandwidth. It's only a 64-bit bus here. And yeah, you have OpenGL support. 100% compliant with OpenGL 1.1, and let me scroll through this so you can see the extensions that it supports. It has no multi-texturing support at all, which when we get to Unreal, you'll see that you have to go into the Unreal INI, Unreal Tournament INI and turn off multi-texturing for it to render correctly, which is not uncommon for cards. They also have to do that with the Matrix G200, for example. But anyway, we'll take a look at the games here and 3D Mark and see what it looks like. This is Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition, running 640 by 480 16-bit color.
Good luck, Agent.
This is Clive Barker's Undying, 800 by 600, maximum quality. It appears to run quite well on here. I think it looks right for the most part. Maybe some banding in the textures, but I think this is pretty impressive. System Shock 2. System Shock 2 appears to look perfect on the Blade 3D. This is Blood 2, and from what I see here, it looks perfect. Runs pretty well. This is 800 by 600. Blood 2 is one of the first Lithtech games. GL Quake. Seems to run perfectly smooth. This is the default settings of 640 by 480 though, so not very taxing. But I don't see any problems here. Looks like there might be some banding in the texturing. 16-bit color. Oh, we have some kind of texture quirk going on there with blue stuff. Oh, there's the blue thing again. I didn't notice that before if it was doing that. So there is some kind of weirdness with the OpenGL or GL Quake with the Blade 3D here. And this is Quake II. Quake II is running at 800 by 600. It seems to be running great. The bilinear filtering is pretty good looking on this card.
EOD confirms bridge is down. Recon data indicates access through storage.
Yeah, Quake 2 is looking good on the Blade 3D.
Good morning and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train
It says Half-Life Game of the Year Edition,
of the Black Mesa
and it is running 800 by 600, 16-bit color,
the time
and OpenGL mode.
8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high-security area beyond Sector C, you will need to return to the Central Transit Hub in Area 9 and board a high-security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high-security branch of the transit system. Due to the high toxicity of material routinely handled in the Black Mesa compound, no smoking, eating, or drinking are permitted within the Black Mesa transit system. Please keep your limbs inside the train at all times. Do not attempt to open the doors until the train has come to a complete halt at the station platform. In the event of an emergency.
This is Quake III. This is the normal preset, 640 by 480. It seems to run pretty well aside from the texture or whatever is going on in the center of this area here, causing major speed problems. So this is probably not the ideal Quake 3 card. Oh, one more speed loss there. Something's going on with the mouth of this thing. A lot of the animated texturing. Yeah, the animated texturing or whatever these things are is causing a major frame rate loss. And this is Sin. Sin is a Quake II based game. This is running 800 by 600 with all of the game's default settings.
We've encountered heavy resistance near the front of the bank.
Seems a bit choppy. Probably would want to run Sin at 640 by 480 on your all-powerful Trident Blade 3D. But I don't see any problems, so can't really complain about Sin on here. Texturing on the floor looks smooth.
Damn, a security door.
This is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. The Blade 3D does not have support for fog table, so there is no fog on this map, as there should be. I turned off the music so I don't get copyright stuff on YouTube. Kind of an empty game without music though. When you start the game up, it does warn you about lack of support for D3D fog table. I'm surprised that it doesn't support it. That's disappointing for sure, considering when this card was released. The fog on this map hides some of the drawing in the distance, but it's also certainly just an atmospheric thing, which is nice. Then we have Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament runs pretty much perfectly on here. It's a 640 by 480, 16-bit color. I had to use multi-texturing in the game configuration because this card does not support multi-texturing, and in that case, sometimes you get messed up texturing. So you have to go in the game INI and disable that use multi-texture. Then the textures will be rendered correctly. Everything will look kind of washed out when it's not working right with the card that doesn't have multi-texturing support.
Three, two, one, go!
This is Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. This is the modern patch, but this works on Windows 98 and it is extremely handy to have around for just playing the game because you can choose different renderers. This is a DirectX 7 renderer, and I'm running 800 by 600 by 16-bit color, pretty much maximum settings. And it looks all right, although I think you'd want to drop it down to 640 by 480. But it's another pretty good showing for the extremely low-end Trident Blade 3D. The card even has support for anisotropic filtering, and trilinear and bilinear looked pretty clean. Three D Mark 2000 is set to 800 by 600 to be more realistic for what this card is capable of. Alright, so what did we see? We saw that the Trident Blade 3D runs a lot of stuff pretty well. Unfortunately, it lacks fog table emulation, which is a problem for DirectX 5 games, some of them anyway, so you won't have fog on those games. Quake 3's animated textures cause stuttering, and I don't know if that could be fixed with a console variable, perhaps. Unreal Engine games like Deus Ex and UT need to have their INI files edited and have use multi-texture disabled because this card does not support multi-texturing. But other than that, Need for Speed 3, Undying, System Shock 2, Sin, Quake 2, GL Quake, Blood 2, Half-Life, they all looked good. So it can run a lot of games pretty well, I think. And 3D Mark 2000, 3D Mark 99 looked good without any major problems. So yeah, this is a decent little low-end card from 1999 with performance something like a G200 perhaps. Maybe similar to a Savage 3D as well from S3. But it was an interesting look, I think. I like looking at these unknown cars and seeing what they can do. So thanks for watching.